Joel Gordon, born here in Fresno, California. This was in 2019. I'm 39 years old, and the mom is 42.
And how old is the child now?
She's 2 years old.
And what's her name?
Monique Elizabeth Miller, and she was born November 29th, 2019. With this whole issue that with CPS taking my daughter from me, you know what I'm saying, especially being a non-offending father, I'm distraught. There's times where I can say I was depressed, a lot of stress, a lot of things that they make you go through getting your daughter taken at birth. My mother's name is Christina Miller. You know, I was with her for a few months, then we broke up. She was pregnant, couldn't find out, so you know, I kept in contact with her, and she was doing drugs, and so that's the whole reason why we broke up.
How'd you feel about her doing the drugs prior to breaking up? How'd you feel about that?
Oh yeah, I was just disgusted at the fact that she was going to continue doing drugs no matter what. I don't want part of that. Basically, it's time to go. She goes on a high-speed chase with a little 4-year-old in the backseat. Cops is chasing them, and then once they finally get her to stop, they gave her a sobriety test, and she had drugs in her system. She told the cops she was high on meth, and so then they arrest her for reckless driving and child endangerment, because she had the little 4-year-old in the backseat. So
and she's pregnant?
And she's pregnant. I'm saying with my daughter at the time.
She goes on a high-speed chase, and she's pregnant with your daughter.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, and it was around like October.
So tell me, how does that relate to your daughter being in her stomach and she's committing crimes? Then what happens?
She's in jail to contest my daughter. Hey, that's my daughter. Even though CPS had my information, my last known address, whereabouts, and all that. The mother of my daughter has another daughter that's not mine. Called me up and basically tells me, hey, you know what? You need to come down here right now and come get little Monique, my daughter. And CPS is gonna put her in the foster home on December 3rd, which was like almost like a week from her birthday, her actual birth. She was born November 29th. I'm gonna go in foster home, and they're gonna try to put her up for adoption.
How did you feel about that?
Oh man, I was hurt. I'm like, I almost lost it. I didn't know what to think really. Isn't her in jail? I was just hurt. I'm saying, I'm like, I don't know what to think. The mother of my child, her other daughter, told me that on the phone that she has court the very next day on December 4th. That I had to be there. If not, that all hope was lost. The CPS broker first thing in the morning. Actually, I went down there and then talked to her, and they were talking about like, oh, well, we can't give it to you. You're saying you're the father. Why didn't they contact me? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm saying like, they had my information. Like, well, we couldn't find you. My house is clean. I had food in the house. You know, I had my daughter's crib. I had everything for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Diapers ready to go. Even though they knew I was the alleged father, they were still wanting me to take a DNA test. You know what I'm saying? I was basically playing ball now. You know what I'm saying? Like with the courts now. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm involved in the courts and whatever they got going on, because so they kind of like legally entrapped me. You know what I'm saying? In the court system. You know what I'm saying? With a child dependency.
Did the DNA come back?
Yeah, it came back. Well, first it came back inconclusive. After the 3rd month, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 months gone by, and it came back inconclusive because me and my daughter, we have identical genes. She only has like a few mothers, which makes like one of them happens to be the female chromosome gene. So it's like she's my identical twin, my daughter. You know, we have this thing called GWPD. We have mutations in our DNA that give us identical DNA strands. You know what I'm saying? So, and we don't know how we got it or whatever, whatnot.
So now that they found that out, what was the next move?
That they had to pull the mother out from jail and get her to take a cotton swab DNA test, because that was the only way for them to figure out if I was the father. It's weird how that is, but they had to get her DNA, and they figured out I was the father. So they were like, well, we would like for you to start testing for us and doing these classes, these drug classes, and parenting classes, along with getting a mental health assessment. You know what I'm saying? And before we can give it to you, you know what I'm saying, or even before any of that happens, yeah, you gotta at least finish all this, you know what I'm saying?
So they wanted you to jump through all these hoops.
I hired another attorney on the side because the attorney I had that was appointed to me was of no use to me, you know what I'm saying? And she would never answer my emails, never my calls. The only time she'd call me was 5 to 10 minutes prior to entering court, and that's only because the courts were through Zoom, which were even harder. My attorney, Jennifer Walters, she was arrested October, but it was in 2019, 3 months before my daughter was born. She was charged with having sex with a minor, you know what I'm saying? And this was not like no wham bam, thank you ma'am. This lady was having a relationship with this boy, you know what I'm saying? At 13 years old, you know what I'm saying? Always up till he was 18. Even moved him in her home and everything, you know what I'm saying? And moved his parents in, you know what I'm saying? So this lady right here, you know, doing all this, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't understand how she was assigned after her being arrested, because the Fresno PD arrested her, you know what I'm saying? They arrested her in October, and so she posts bail, so she's out on bond. 3 months down the road, she's assigned to my case, helping me with my daughter on my child abuse case. I asked her if she can file those certain files that I had learned about, and she was like, she laughed at me. She said, "Oh, it was a joke." So I then hired another attorney who helped me fill out the forms, and it was like a JV 100 or something like that. And the next time it was court, and they had me, the attorney Jennifer Walters, on television, and he was right there presiding in his bench, and he was like, "Oh wow, what's going on? Did you file this right here?" I go, "Yeah, I filed those." You know what I'm saying? This one lawyer, attorney guy that I paid, he helped me file this, you know, and she was like, "Oh wow, oh so why are you doing this behind my back?" She was saying, like I was like, "You weren't gonna file these motions for me," you know what I'm saying? Like so whether I file these behind your back or not, I don't care. I filed them, you know what I'm saying? So
who said that? Your lawyer or the judge?
The attorney, but the judge was like basically siding up with her with being biased, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like, "Well, I don't see any truth to this or any facts in this affidavit or form." So he's like, "I'm ripping this up," you know what I'm saying? So he rips it up in front of me, you know what I'm saying? And they laughed at me, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, "Well, if you're smart, you would just, before you go and try to file something, you let me know," you know what I'm saying? And she was saying, and I was like, "Well, I'm telling you to file all these other things, and you're saying that's you can't do that," you know what I'm saying? Like, and you're trying to say, "Oh, well," like trying to clown, like saying, "Oh, well, are you the attorney?" and stuff like that. Like they try to belittle me somehow.
They weren't representing your rights.
Yeah, at all, you know what I'm saying?
They're making a mockery out of the system.
Exactly. My emails were supposedly going to her spam. So she says. I got like document proof of that. She was not answering my phone calls, my emails. So I took it upon myself to just look her up on Google, because I was going to go down to her office and I was going to demand some answers, you know what I'm saying? Looked her up on Google, and the first thing that pops up with her name was the mugshot of her being processed in the Fresno police headquarters and you know, having sex with a minor, you know what I'm saying? So I read the whole story and I'm like, whoa, this is her, you know what I'm saying? Like no wonder why, you know what I'm saying? Like this whole time, you know what I'm saying? Because she's dealing with this case right here. She has no time to be dealing with regular cases, or she don't have time to be dealing with nobody's case. Because this right here, yeah, she's having sex with kids, and she, you know what I'm saying? She's hiding from the bullies.
She's not a lawyer. She's a pedophile.
She's a pedophile, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's not a lawyer. She's a straight pedophile. You know what I'm saying? Like, no lawyer like that with pedophile tendencies should be working around kids. For that matter, you know what I'm saying?
The more interesting thing about this is the district attorney is the one who had to file the charges on her. So if she did that, why would the district attorney and the judge let the lady post bail or get out and still continue doing her job, knowing that she violated her oath?
Exactly, and that's what angered me, you know what I'm saying? And still angers me to this day, you know what I'm saying? Because like, she wasted my time. You know what I'm saying? My time that I could have used another lawyer or an attorney for that matter to try to fight for my daughter, you know what I'm saying, the right way, you know what I'm saying, the proper way, you know what I'm saying, like it should have been fought. Nah, but she wasted my whole time almost to about trial, and you know, by the time I find out about it, you know what I'm saying, like it's already too late, you know what I'm saying, like I finally get her switched out to another attorney, and you know, because I kept confronting her about it over the phone. She was crying. She said it was none of my business, and I should take down those pictures of her on my Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Because I put her on blast on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, you know what? I felt what happened was not right. You know what I'm saying? So I was just, I didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I was angry. I was losing my mind at that point. You know what I'm saying? I was like, how dare this court system, and that's when I knew that they were just like so corrupt. You know what I'm saying? How they allowed her to just be working with kids even, and practicing law, dealing with kids. But
well, a newborn, right?
Yeah, especially a newborn. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's crazy.
They're giving newborn cases
In Fresno County.
So because you had this crooked lawyer, basically everybody lost rights. And that's crazy because they know they shouldn't believe her. They just caught her committing a crime and they had to take her child away.
Yeah.
But yet they're gonna believe what she has to say about the father, and obviously they must have believed it because they never contacted you.
Yeah.
Until you contacted them. Now, another thing where we're at now is, I mean, were you able to get rid of that lawyer too, or did she finish the case off basically?
Yeah, she screwed up my whole case. You know what I'm saying? She just was prolonging the cases out, and I never was able to say something to the judge about like what's been happening, and you know, and that's crazy how child dependency court is. The parent can't say nothing at all to the judge. You know what I'm saying? You're not allowed to.
That's the lawyer's job.
And they were speaking for us, and you know, you know what I'm saying, trying to find out this pedophile was giving me the runaround. You know what I'm saying? And working on behalf of CPS. You know, and I know she was doing it intentionally because she wasn't following no forms, no motions, you know, no affidavits, and she was not answering calls.
She broke the law. She violated her oath in office, and that may have played a huge role in your child's case. Now that the case is over, basically nobody's been able to see her because when the case ended, everybody lost all rights.
About the pedophile attorney removed, I had a new attorney, and at that time, the mother was no longer coming to court no more after that. You know what I'm saying? She basically called it quits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, after I got the new attorney, I started getting these visits with my daughter in person. There were like 1 hour visits twice a week. You know what I'm saying? Even with the Zoom visits, the bond and the love, even and the unconditional love. Me and my daughter, we never had that problem. And since Kate, she knew I was her dad. You know what I'm saying? She called me. I teach her how to say dad. You know what I'm saying? Teach her how to do her numbers, Spanish and in English. I started to get depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt there was no hope for me. I felt I was doing this all on my own. That my attorney was a pedophile. That right there was it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty much. Like where I gave up hope. If they're letting pedophiles work as attorneys on behalf of parents for kids, for minors, yeah. They were saying that that because of how long it took for me to like finish my classes. See, I graduated my parenting class pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? I did my mental health assessment. I was doing my drug classes, and then because I failed the couple of drug tests to do marijuana, how long my daughter was with the foster parents, that it would be detrimental and harmful for my daughter placed with me. You know what I'm saying? It'll be more damaging. When in reality, they never even did no bonding assessment. You know what I'm saying? Me and my daughter, we had the in-person visits on the campus on Star, and we're great. You know what I'm saying? Like first time I seen her, man, like I'm saying, I cried. You know what I'm saying? And she cried, not wanting to leave me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it just blows my mind that even though we've been so far apart and we barely got to see each other rarely, that she acknowledged that I'm dad, so which gave me more hope than anything. You know what I'm saying? The whole like statute of limitation on, you know, kids that are removed from birth. You only have like a lot of time to finish doing what you gotta do, or they're up for adoption. They adopted her out. We should be voicing our opinions, demanding the truth. They're basically just legal kidnapping these kids. But yeah, what they're doing to parents is not right. You know what I'm saying? Just moving these kids, not giving the fathers a chance. You know, just
taking the love away from the child, you know, without giving the parent a chance.
Due process or any of that.
And giving the child to a foster parent, it seems to me like they're more concerned about the money rather than the love.
Yeah. You know, how they come to our houses, you know, with all these lies and all these, allegations.
You gotta go over there and
you know
start telling the truth.
Yeah, let's go over there and demand answers, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's where I'm about. And it's crazy that you bring that up, because I was telling somebody about that. And I was telling about, because they live right there by Fresno City College, right? Protesting right there on campus, talking about like the kids, and just letting them know, yes, hands up and everything like that, make them feel uncomfortable like they made me feel uncomfortable.
Movement. And now he's got people behind him. They're fighting for his kid. They're fighting for other kids. They're doing things that the government would never do.
Yeah.
Because they can't profit off of helping a child, but they can profit off of destroying and tearing families apart.
Yes, exactly, man. And that's what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it for years, and I want to go above and beyond for my daughter, for the voice of the children. You
know, you're not the only father going through this. There's a lot of fathers going through it, and the problem is like you said, you can't do nothing in society without cameras. Nobody will see it.
Right.
Nobody will see it. So once they see it, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Because then we start engaging them. Hey, look at this, look at that. That's how they stopped Vietnam. What crime do you have to commit to lose your job working for the county? If the county's going to be committing crimes like that, they have to protect her because she works for that county that's prosecuting her. You know, it's never too late.
Yeah, it's never too late.
The system isn't advocating for justice. You know, it's advocating for money.
Yeah.
The child needs to be a great child.
Yeah.
You know, child abuse, it's horrible.
Yeah.
We see it with the cops not making arrests. We see it with CPS not pulling kids or giving kids back to their parents, lying to them, stealing kids for monetary purposes.
Yeah.
You know, they call it kids for cash. You know, and it's true. And we're starting to see something though. The statistics are all coming out of it.
Yeah.
You know, when a child lives to survive an abusive home, usually they become killers because they lack empathy. Nobody ever cared for them. They don't know what love is. So when they pull the trigger, they don't feel nothing. That's why they're pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
So, and then you've got these prostitutes, you've got crackheads, you've got the homeless. All these problems, all these social problems are coming right back to CPS.
Yes. Yeah.
Taking kids and charging parents an outrageous amount just to see them for an hour or two out of the week. You know, that's what you call a true social experiment. Children aren't made to be seen by their father 1 or 2 hours out of the week. But they know when they do it, it basically becomes a mathematical statistic at that point. They're sitting there doing math, figuring out how they can destroy this child's life. How can they guide this child into a statistic that makes them more and more money? We have to start fighting for these kids.
Yeah. And we're advocating for these kids and wanting justice and wanting answers, you know what I'm saying? Reform in CPS, or if not, just abolish it, period.